Hello, I am Ian. So we have worlds in collision, when the Earth nearly died, and catastrophe. We've got a solar 3.9 million years ago. We've got a solar system disaster. 2 planets exploded. It was an accident. The sinking of the continent known as Atlantis 65,000 years ago causes the Earth's axis to tilt over the biblical flood and the Ice Age. And in the year 538 AD, the landmass of the Earth shrinks and there is a worldwide 200-foot sea level rise. It's a big catastrophe. So the idea we're looking at here is we live in a created reality. There's a creationary source, and the Earth's an experiment to create one of our bodies. Our bodies are the tech. The ghost in the machine idea, or a spirit or a soul in a body. So as I said, the religious cross is the symbol of the energy being that everything's made from. The creationary source, our universal envelope, galaxies, solar systems, stars, planets, one of us. Just all different sized packets of the same shaped, consciously aware field of energy. 2 sets of counter-rotating spiraling vortices, spirit, spirituality, spiraling vortex. And I would have said planets are created this way, that the energy being that is the planet puts itself in position in the solar system. In the case of it being Mother Earth will then, the energy being that is Mother Earth, plugs herself into a universal energy flow of plasma. First uses that plasma to coalesce the rock of the planet. Then the plasma is turned into water. We end up with a water planet. Then the rock of the planet expands, exposing the land mass. There's a group been on the planet, you can trace them back about 5,000 years, or 5,800 years to ancient Sumeria. And this group went around killing all the academics, burning all the books. There's been a deliberate and systematic removal of all the information from the old world. History and science have been outrageously falsified, and layers of deliberately misleading information have been put in place in order to hide the truth. When humanity first appears on the planet, we're in a higher state of being. We've got a 1,500-year lifespan and greatly enhanced senses and psychic abilities. And we'll start off with the ability to build the pyramids or these ancient temple sites with the fabulous stonework that we can't replicate nowadays. We'll start off there, but due to a vibration mismatch problem with the base frequency of the Earth that was kind of causing it to age too quickly, we got worse. Things get so bad that 7,000 years ago, we came up with a plan to divide the energy being that we are into 2 and live shorter lifetimes. Previous to that, we're in a higher state of being. So a couple of points to make. We're currently living in a reduced state of being. That ancient, highly advanced civilization that appears to be lost was us in a higher state of awareness. And the other point to make, 7,000 years ago when we came up with the plan to live shorter lifetimes, we'd already been back on the planet after the sinking of Atlantis for 13,000 years. So some of the buildings were already there, the plumbing's in, the drains are in. We've got some kind of electrical energy source. We have high society. On a 200-foot sea level rise, it covers a lot of that stuff up. A couple of good examples of a sea level rise would be the city of Venice. The official story, they built Venice on wooden piles in the middle of the ocean, and which is just ridiculous. You find a lot of ridiculous construction stories, or fake, or staged construction photographs, and ridiculously short construction times. You find a lot of that is going on, and Venice is a good example of that. Just building in the middle of the ocean is ridiculous. But if you drop the sea level by 200 feet, Venice is in a shallow lagoon. If you drop the sea level by 200 feet, all of that's above water. It's on dry land. And another good example would be the Egyptian, off the coast of Egypt, there's an Egyptian port. I think it says Heraklion or something like that it's called. And what's interesting about that is that the statues have been defaced. They've had their noses knocked off. Now that type of behaviour doesn't happen until you get to Alexander the Great. I would have said anyway, you can trace this group back over 5,000 years, but if you come forward in time a little bit, you catch the Egyptian pharaoh Akhenaten. He's connected to this group. Then you find Alexander the Great appears, and he's the first guy with empire building aspirations. leads to the empire building aspirations of Rome. You know, there's a noted change in the mindset of humanity there. You get this more male-dominated society, knocks the whole thing out of balance. So these defaced statues off the coast of Egypt, they must have been above water to be defaced. And as I say, this seems to get going quite nicely when time you get to Alexander the Great. So somewhere between Alexander the Great and the sea level rise in the Dark Ages, they were above water to be defaced. The point. There's a well-documented worldwide mid-6th century disaster in this book by Catastrophe by David Keyes. Fire and brimstone, death, doom and gloom, famine and plague. Between 30 and 90% of the human population around the planet die off. It's a big catastrophe. Alright, thanks for watching. I'm going to leave it there with this one, and there's a bit of a story wherever you go, so and that's just a piece of it. If you can check out the other videos, please like, subscribe, comment, share, and we'll see you on the next one.